going on, everybody? My name's Jonathan McNamee. You're watching That Guy Talks, and today we are talking about the most anticipated movies coming out this April 2022. Hold on. Hold your horses, everybody. All right, because we're already 3 months into 2022, and, there's some pretty big blockbuster movies out there, Jonathan. All right? Understand that, Movie Mac, but we already seen Jackass Forever, Marry Me, Sony's Uncharted, Disney Pixar's Turning Red, and Batman. You have to say the Batman. It's in the title. Well, anyway, since you've covered the big blockbuster movies that have already come out, why don't we dive into the list that we're anticipating to come out? April has multiple movies that are highly anticipated, especially when you have a movie poster that looks like this. And it looks very similar to the 1992 game that looks like this. I mean, look at the similarities. Their marketing team was on point. I am super excited to dive in nostalgic feelings watching this movie. I remember going back to my childhood, blowing on the Sega Genesis cartridge, throwing it in, and playing Sonic. I'm super excited on April 8th, 2022 when this movie releases, and to see Jim Carrey dive in his role as Eggman, because he always seems to dive 110% into his character. Speaking of actors that dive in full-fledged into the character they're portraying, we have Morbius, which is starring Jared Leto, that comes out April 1st, 2022. Don't get me wrong, I love me a good Jared Leto movie. But there's some Jared Leto movies that ain't so good. So, I'm kinda hit or miss about this movie. And now I'm going to be even more confused now that it's not a part of the Marvel Universe, it's Sony, but there's Michael Keaton who portrays the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming, and now my brain's going to be more confused because more Marvel magic crossover multiverse is going to happen. Speaking of magic, April has a movie that is releasing its third installment, which is the Fantastic Beasts series, releasing The Secrets of Dumbledore on April 15th, 2022. The story picks up after the events of The Crimes of Grindelwald, which was released in 2018. Eddie Redmayne's character, Newt Scamander, and his compatriots set out the evil wizard Grindelwald, which is now played by Mads Mikkelsen, after Warner Brothers asked Johnny Depp to voluntarily step away from the role. Depp released a statement on his Instagram writing, "I have been asked to resign by Warner Brothers from my role as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts, and I have respected and agreed to that request." But you know what, Jonathan? Not all villains are bad guys, especially for this next movie opening up on April 22, 2022. And it's called The Bad Guys. This is the latest project from DreamWorks Animation. It's a heist comedy based on the popular children's book about a handful of reformed villains who decide to go straight and do some good in the world. I'm actually kind of surprisingly excited for this movie because DreamWorks hasn't really been putting out a lot of great animations lately since, well, maybe not that far, maybe this one. And some people talk about this, but we don't talk about him no more. We don't talk about him. I was going to try to come up with a transition from that movie to this one, but I just couldn't. I have 2 words. Nick Cage. Nicholas Cage. If you don't know the acting depth of a man, look no further. Nicholas Cage is here. He plays the most powerful, badass, mind-bending, and insane and crazy character of all time, himself. As his career takes a downturn, Nick Cage reluctantly takes an offer of $1 million for a superfan's birthday party named Javi, played by Pedro Pascal. Cage and Javi become fast friends, but once shit hits the fan, that's when this meta comedy becomes hilarious and insane. This is where Nicolas Cage becomes Nicolas Cage. I'm very excited for Nicolas Kim Coppola, professionally known as Nicolas Cage, to take the stage as Nicolas Cage. That was a lot of Nicolas Cages in one sentence, and I loved every minute of it. Explosions, product placement is this next director's forte. But on April 8, 2022, director Michael Bay tones down his blockbuster tendencies just a bit, presumably, who unknowingly robbed an ambulance carrying a paramedic and a patient in critical condition. Now, this is starring Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's pretty good. I like him in a few of his films. This film is giving me kind of a Speed meets a Michael Bay film. I don't really know because this was supposed to come out in February, and if it came out in February, we probably wouldn't know. But I'm excited. Well, everybody. Hey, Jonathan, maybe next time you could have me on the show, we could actually talk about these movies. Maybe do a review or something. I don't know. Put it down in the comments. I'm sure you'd be appreciative of it. Doses. That doesn't sound like a half-bad idea, Movie Mac. If you really like this video, smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. It would really mean the world to me. So, from all of us here at ThatGuy Talks, let's cue that music. If you like this video, you might like this video here, where I rank all the Harry Potter movies. Nicolas